Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We begin in the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. The question before us today seems to be a follow-up from the one we answered last time. It reads, isn't it unjust for God and against His policy as outlined in chapter 18 verse 30 and chapter 18 verse 49 to waste and cancel the deeds of the unbeliever in the hereafter? Well, first of all, Surah 18 verse 30 itself asserts Iman as a requirement for reward in the hereafter. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ إِنَّا لَا نُضِيعُ أَجْرَ مَنْ أَحْسَنَ عَمَلًا is what God says. So He puts Iman first. Without Iman, the good deeds don't count in the hereafter. Yes, what the Quran does emphasize is that because God does not waste good deeds as a general principle, unbelievers will be given their full reward here in the life of this world. And this is mentioned quite explicitly in Surah 11 of the Quran, Surah Hud, verses 15 and 16. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَنْ كَانَ يُرِيدُ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا وَزِينَتَهَا نُوَفِّي إِلَيْهِمْ أَعْمَالَهُمْ فِيهَا وَهُمْ فِيهَا لَا يُبْخَسُونَ أولئك الذين ليس لهم في الآخرة إلا النار وحبط ما صنعوا فيها وباطل ما كانوا يعملون. Allah Azza wa Jal says, whoever desires the life of this world and its beauty and glitter, نوفي إليهم أعمالهم فيها, we will pay them back, we will reward them with the reward of their good deeds. We will pay it to them. Nuwaffi. Waffa in Arabic means to pay back in full, without any loss, without any reduction or decrease. And this is further emphasized in the last phrase of the verse, which is وَهُمْ فِيهَا لَا يُبْخَسُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not reduce anything of their reward in this dunya. So they will be given their full reward in the dunya. But when it comes to the akhirah, the afterlife, which they rejected and denied and didn't believe in, Allah says, أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ لَيْسَ لَهُمْ فِي الْآخِرَةِ إِلَّا النَّارِ. Such people in the hereafter shall have nothing but the fire. وَحَبِطَ مَا صَنَعُوا فِيهَا. All that they did will be destroyed. وَبَاطِلٌ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. And all the deeds that they accumulated will be invalidated. There is no injustice in this, because what would be unjust and unfair and sort of irrational and even nonsensical would be for God to reward the unbeliever in the hereafter. Don't you think? Because the unbeliever aslan doesn't believe in the hereafter. For him, Jannah and all the favors and blessings and bounties that God promises in Jannah, they're just fables and imaginary stuff. As Mirza Ghalib says, Dil ko Dil ke behlane ko ghalib ye khayal acha hai. It's just something to entertain your mind and heart with. So when the unbeliever does not believe in the hereafter, there is no point in rewarding him in a realm which he aslan does not believe in. It would be like paying somebody in currency they don't recognize. If I were to get, let's say, a painter to do some painting work in this studio, and at the end of it, when he does a really fine job, I bring out some of my very precious, rare manuscripts, Arabic manuscripts, and I give them to him, and I say, this is your payment. He's like, what is this? So it might be valuable to you. To me, these are just pieces of paper and not very attractive, even. So these are useless to me. So no, you can sell them. Some people would be willing to pay an awful lot. I said, Baba, give me money, give me currency I recognize. So justice and fairness is to pay people in currencies that they recognize. Not to pay them in something that you consider to be extremely valuable, but for them it is meaningless and valueless. For the unbeliever, the hereafter is an imaginary, fictitious, nonsensical realm. He doesn't believe in it. He finds it absurd, this whole concept of the hereafter. So for God to tell the unbeliever that, I'm not going to give you any reward in the dunya, all of your reward is reserved in the hereafter is a realm he doesn't believe in, so it's basically absurd. And that's why God's policy is very fair and just. You believe only in this dunya, we'll give you your full reward without reduction in the dunya. If you believe in the dunya as well as the hereafter, and you say, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً, then the next verse says what? أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ نَصِيبٌ مِّمَّا كَسَبُوا. Allah says they will get their share here as well as in the hereafter. Wassalamu ala man ittaba al-huda.